We're just getting some breaking news here on BBC Radio 5 Live. It's to do with F1 and the fact that, well, the Formula 2 outfit Phoenix Grand Prix is to move up to Formula 1 for the 2020 season. They will be the 11th F1 team on the grid. They do have a driver manager, which will be a unique, of course, to the sport. But nevertheless, we'll have more details when they come out. Details are very vague. All we know is so far they've been awarded an entry for the 11th team on the grid for 2020. Hello everyone and welcome to the very first episode of the My Team mod. Of course, this is the F2 version, sort of building up to the F1 version, which of course will be coming out. I'm going to hope that ultimately depends how much modding there is available in F1 2020 in regards to My Team. As yet, I don't have my hands on the game, isn't out yet, so I can't tell you what that series is going to be like, whether it is going to be a mod at all or whether it's just going to be a sort of a playthrough. But I'm sort of going to try and build a story mode before this at the very least. Now, obviously Formula 2, it's a lot less expensive to run. It's still expensive, but compared to F1, compared to F1, it's like going down to Poundland compared shopping at Waitrose. But yes, each episode will contain, there'll be a one-shot quali. I did try the only alternative in Formula 2, I'm afraid, is a 30-minute session, and oh my goodness grief, it takes forever. Because also the tyres are glitched. You can only have one set of the softest compound to qualify on. You don't get a choice on which of this. So Formula 2 is very restricted. There's also a lot of restricted stuff in the amount of modding I've been done. I was going to mod the tyre wear and make more stops, but that's not been, unfortunately. We don't have enough tyre sets to be able to get through the full weekend. So yes, there'll be a 50% feature race. 50% the feature races are probably going to be the majority of this video. They're not as long as you think they are, because I think today's one is around Canada is about 20 laps, and then there's a 25% sprint race. 25% races for Formula 2 do not require you to change tyres. It'll just be literally a sprint to the finish. And they're usually between about 5 and 9 laps, or 5 and 10 laps for the sprint race. The feature race is around 20, anything from about 15 to 25 laps, depending on the length of the track. F2 specification points will be going, and you'll see them at the end of the thing. There is also, by the way, an email system that will be introduced from episode 2. They'll sort of be starting off the episodes with revealing the inbox and the other stuff that we'll be doing since the last episode. And of course, I would ideally like to have more rounds and sort of build this up into a good championship, but F1 2020 is just around the corner. I don't think this series is going to get many views as well, so the fact that I've put only time in for this, basically, I think that, and also there's other stuff going on with furlough and other stuff, so I really need to manage my time, which is why the limit on the series. I will, of course, also I've made the decision that the F1 Classics mod is going to be delayed until F1 2020. That will be coming out sometime around October now, and we'll get our hands on the new game, and it'll be on that game. So that is something to look forward to, but there's just too many glitches on F1 2019 for me to be able to work with that mod and get the best out of that mod, basically. So that's why that's been delayed. And also it allows me to focus on Twitch as well, which is the other thing I want to sort of focus on a few other little games, and maybe some F1 2019 open lobbies, if I can sort my mic out for that, and get time as well for those to work, basically. So yeah, that's what's going on with this series. So there will be an email system that will sort of introduce, and then we'll go into qualifying, and then the 2 races, and then that will be it. Obviously there'll be no upgrades because it's an F2, but yes, you can download this mod from Race Department. It will be available from the day after this is uploaded, so if you're watching the day after it's uploaded, then it will be available. I'll basically update the description below, mainly because I have to get everything together into a zip file and then sort of word it together as well. So yes, without a doubt, let's step into qualifying for today's Canadian Grand Prix. So this was something that I was pointing out earlier. You can see that we've only got super softs and soft tyres to qualify on. Obviously we can't choose anything else. I'd love to have that set, but the limited amount of tyres is there. I don't know why, but into qualifying we go. Up to the line, and of course we're taking the right line going into turn 1. You can see initially into P1 as we come around round turn 2 and up. It's still maintaining P1, which is good because this is our debut in Formula 2. This could be a journey for a great series, or definitely be a journey for Formula 1, but we'll have more on that throughout the coming months. We've lost down a bit during that braking zone, back up into P4, just about down to P7, losing out on acceleration, mainly because I imagine the AR probably got higher. Well, they all have the default setup, which is lower than me, but up to P4, briefly down to P6. We seem to be hovering around P4 to P6. Hopefully we will have, they've got higher wings, which means we should be able to make it P2, and eventually into P1 as we go into the hairpin, but then accelerating out the hairpin, it is still P1. And it's just really going to be a drag race between whoever is in second place, really, down to the bunny hop, basically, and take a little bit of curving there. I'm going to go up to the line on the grass. We've lost P1. That's a bad mistake. Could cost us in the championship, really, only by 56 thousandths of a second to Sergio Sette Camara in first place. Jordan King, surprise third place for him. Anton Hubert starts for. Our main rivals in this series are De Vries, Latifi and Schumacher are way down, so this is a good chance to get some early points on the board for today's Canadian Grand Prix. But now it is time for the first race in this series, and indeed the feature race from Canada.
welcome as you join us once again for another thrilling Formula 2 race here in Montreal at the iconic Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Let's get down to the grid and join the action. Located on a man-made island in the middle of the St. Lawrence River, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is a track known for its heavy braking chicanes and famous hairpin. Going at flat-out speeds can result in some close calls, particularly at the iconic Wall of Champions, where former drivers will tell you discipline is key to navigating the track's final chicane. Joining me for the race today, I'm delighted to welcome back to the commentary box the 2012 GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. Davide, it's great to have you with us for today's race. Any tips for our drivers out on the track today?
It's a real pleasure to be here, Alex. We are in for a spectacular day in Formula 2. My advice is to stay calm, look after the car, look after the tires, but don't be afraid to push when you see an opportunity. Using the DRS on some of those long straights will be crucial for the driver looking to make a challenge.
He's ready.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
Well, thank you, Jeff. We're on the front row. And of course we're going to be hoping that we can get victory. We were oh so close to getting pole. Races are one stop from the super soft to soft. That's all the tyres we got left, especially the fact we got probably will have to end up running softs in the sprint lobbyist 5 red lights for F2 career in this. The first My Team episode is underway and it's absolutely woeful start. We moved away as thing. Jordan King is trying to have a look round Camara for first place. Camara blocks him off. We've got Hubert round our outside. I'm going to try and block Hubert off and retain P3. But that was a dreadful start. Moving to lap 2, we're now catching up to Jordan King. Can we go around the outside of our fellow Brit into turn 2? No, we can't, and unfortunately we lose out going on the wide lights. Hubert might have some front wing damage from that start. I'm not sure how because I didn't touch him, but nevertheless he's starting to slow and hold up. Some of the AIs were now coming up as we now zoom to Hubert as well. He's got Louis Delatraz as well as our teammate in the sticks. King goes defences. We're going to have a look around the outside here. If we can make this move work, then it'll be absolutely great. No, King's going to actually chop us off into the wall. Thank you so much. Just like in F1 2019 online. So it's the end of lap 2. We're right with King. There is no rich mix in Formula 2. DRS has some effect, but not a lot. Not as much as F1. Down the inside, nice overtake up into P2. Moving to lap 5 now. Louis Delatraz has moved ahead of Antoine Hubert. He is up now into P4. With he will go on to chase on to King. Next up, Hubert is our teammate Wang Yishu. As we now are dancing around the slipstream, we've got DRS, but unfortunately this is lap 6 and we're coming into the pits at the end of this lap. We could have gone on for another lap there, but everybody else, the top 4's going in. Hubert will take the lead from our teammate Guan Yuzu, and we're going to come in for a Formula 2 pit stop because we don't have enough personnel to do an F1 style pit stop. We've been held by, I think there was Delatraz there. Can we get out ahead of King? No, we can't. We've been jumped by King thanks to the workings of Louis Delatraz, and out we come. And moving to lap 7, already closing in on Jordan King. We're pushing him through the corner. We've got damage. Only a little bit. That's not really troubling around Canada. Monaco might be more concerning, but nevertheless we're going to carry on. We're going to, in the DRS, we might have a look at King actually down the inside into the chicane. and away we go back, and that will be what will be a net P2 on the road whenever he's made their pit stop. In actual fact, that's going to allow Louis Delatraz as well to use the second bite of the DRS. He's going to move as well up into King, so that Delatraz up into third now, and of course we're looking to join as we look at this is Lacey. He is out of the race because his engine decided to turn into a complete and utter bonfire. And he wasn't the only bonfire on track, because also at the same time, and literally down the road, was Nobrutsa Machititsa as well. So yes, as we get ever closer to the race leader, Satu Camara, we're going to see if we can go down the inside. We're going to do the move we pulled earlier on King the first time, down the inside, and that's my new favourite overtake really. Not really, haven't done that overtake on F1 before, but unfortunately we're starting to struggle. I'm not sure if these tyres are starting to go off, but Camara's starting to come back here. I mean, we were very close in qualifying. If I hadn't put on the tyre on the grass, we probably would have been a couple of tenths, maybe a couple of thousands the other way, but of course DRS allows us, and the slipstream is very powerful in this game, and we move back up into P1, although corner cutting the corner. And again, Camara is still with us. He has DRS this time. We can't seem to shake Camara, and this battling is going to allow the lot behind us as we go side by side into the chicane, and we're going to have a drag race up to the line. We're still going side by side over the line. We're going very slowly. I think these tyres are definitely worn off, and there might be an issue as we move to lap 15 now. We have Camara trying to go up the inside. We're going to have to let Camara go here. That's going to a great exit there. Camara went a little bit wide. That's going to allow us to come back at the Brazilian. We're going to have DRS because DRS activation line is there and not after here like it was back in 2011. We cut across Camara and take race lead. As you watch now, there's a whole gallon of cars as Hubert comes through now to overtake Chocolate King and up into 4th position. Next up then will be Mick Schumacher in the Framer car. And you know why we were going so slowly? We've got half a front wing left. The tyres have really gone off, especially on the fronts, not so much on the rears. Excuse me, apologies for that. As we're coming through there, we've got Jeff trying to give us a race strategy. That's not going to be good because we've got a whole train of cars. We're going to have to let Camara go here, but we're going to have DRS, of course, on him. Can we get there? We're going to go down the inside before even DRS. We will have DRS anyway. You'll rejoin pit now and join in 17th position, which is not where we want to be. We can still win this race. We just need to hold on. Right, again, this time Delatraz is coming through, not Camara. Both of them are going to have a look down, a two-pronged attack at the end of the DRS straight. We're going to have to cut off Camara to make the corner. We've got DRS on Delatraz. We dive it down the inside in chicane. We're going to have to cut the chicane because we've got only half front wing left, and that's going to give us the second line. Delatraz is nicely swiped across the front of Camara there, as we still keep battling there. With Delatraz, we still managed to maintain the lead onto the final lap. Delatraz is too far back on this last DRS straight, and thank you very much. We'll take P1, especially the fact we've only got half front wing on the car. P1 is fantastic. Yes, P1, Delatraz second, Camara third, Schumacher was 6th. De Vries is 8th, so he'll have pole for the next race, which won't be good because he'll just sail off into the sunset. And Raggy Nathan actually got 13th in the end. But yes, that's going to be it for the feature race. Let's move on now to the sprint race for today's Canadian Grand Prix.
And here we are, back after yesterday's exciting feature race for today's sprint. The top 8 from yesterday have been reversed for the grid down below, and we're almost ready to start. Joining me for the race today, I'm delighted to welcome back to the commentary box the 2012 GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. Davide, it's great to have you with us for today's race. Any tips for our drivers out on the track today?
It's a real pleasure to be here, Alex. We are in for a spectacular day in Formula 2. My advice is to stay calm, look after the car, look after the tires, but don't be afraid to push when you see an opportunity. Using the DRS on some of those long straights will be crucial for the driver looking to make a challenge.
Right, let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
Well, thanks Jeff. As we move into, we started from P8. This is a 7-lap sprint race. Brother lights and away we go. And oh, for goodness sake, there's something really wrong with my car because we're just the slowest car. We're down to P12. We're going to move back up to P11. But really, I mean, it's not very. How are we supposed to make positions up on the start when every time we move away, we move at the rate of the RS Titanic? Latifi is shoved up so there, and we're going to try and get around our teammate. Dive down the inside. We're going to get 2 cars there and up into P9. Next up will be, I believe, Shaw Galal. Because his teammate's up in second place. You can see this is the train. You can see there's a dot sailing off to the distance. Of course, that is the Nyck de Vries. So we're going to have a look down the inside of Galal. We're going to force him to make the move back up into where we started, P8. Next up is Antoine Hubert, who go down the inside of him and move up in P7. Now we're starting to make some moves up. We set the fastest middle sector of them all, and we're going to have DRS further as well, which is going to further aid. Or you can see the DRS really isn't that helpful. We're closing on 198 miles an hour, closing up to Louis Delatraz, and as we move up into set the fast lap of the Grand Prix 120.7, which was faster than everything else we were doing earlier. But we're now in this slipstream of the second DRS straight down the inside of Delatraz and up into 6th place, and we sort of start to march on. Next up will be Jordan King. So he's having actually quite a good race. He's managed to hold on to 5th place so far, but I'm sure on the amount of time we got move on to laps 5. We now caught up, managed to get past King eventually, and up into what is now P5. Next up is the Brazilian driver, Four Dams. We're going to have DRS, although saying that, no, we're not going to have DRS because he's out the race. Camara's out the race, and that is going to promote us up into P4. And then we got, I believe, what is Jack Aitken in the Campos car, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's having a look at Schumacher in the Prema, but it's not going to be enough. We're going to have a look up to the line. Can we make this stick up to the line? It'd be a good race if we can. No, we can't. We just needed that little bit more oomph. But nevertheless, it's still 2 points for fastest lap as well. And I'll take what is P4 after an absolutely woeful start at the start. Nyck de Vries, though, takes maximum points, 15 points, and really ran away into the sunset. So that's put him back in the championship. Nicholas Latifi down in 8th place there, after not really scoring, so he gets 1 point and finally gets his championship underway. So in terms of the championship, we have a healthy 15-point lead over Louis Delatraz. Schumacher's a first at 2 point back, so I expect de Vries, Latifi to move further up the grid as this series goes on. Guan Yu down there in 11th, with yet to score, and somehow Maravilla Ranganathan is 13th in the championship, although we have now got a fifth of this championship completed, of course, to move to the next round at Austria. And of course we lead the team's championship as well with 38 points, 14 points ahead of Prema. So yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button, let me know what you think in the comments below, as we do prepare for the F1 version of this mighty mod. But until the next video, Arsene Slime, take care, thank you so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.